Shablam.
I did take a selfie really quick.
Gotta take a selfie.
Looks good, no?
Oh, my phone is blowing up with gigs.
Look, no?
Oh, very glamorous. You look like you're about to be in a Noel Coward play.
Shablammers.
Ooh, in your socks. Oh, look at that, Shablammers. You got a lot of fingerprints on that screen.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It's okay. You look glamorous,
That
bitch.
bad, huh? That
Good
bad.
work.
Well, I look like I'm in an old Cower plate. I like what you said about that.
Yeah.
We were talking a little bit about this before we started recording, but we need to do a production of The Importance of Being Earnest.
Oh, yeah. Shablammers, don't you think that'd be fun?
And I could be Cecily and you could be the other bitch. I forgot what
Yeah,
her name is. I
And
think
then
it's
we
Rosalind, but-
have drag kings as like Algernon and the other one.
And then
And
you were saying you wanted to do, what were you saying?
I want Jackie Beat to be like the Dowager Lady.
Yes.
That'd be so fun. Would you come to
Lady
see
Bracknell.
that?
Lady
Yes,
Bracknell.
exactly.
Wait, but you were saying that you wanted to do, you were like, oh, you know what we should do? Like a play?
Oh, have you ever read the play or heard of the play Night Mother?
No, what is that about?
It's a 2-woman play. Cherry Jones was in it on Broadway, like the original cast. Or no, Kathy Bates,
Okay.
I believe, was in the original cast on Broadway. And it's like a mother-daughter. And the whole play, spoiler alert, is like the mother like preparing to unalive herself, as they say.
Oh.
So it's them like their last kind of
their
like
moments
time.
together. You
Yeah.
want me and you to do that?
Yes.
What the hell? Oh, your hat just fell off,
Oh,
bitch.
no.
That was God trying to give you a lesson and saying that's a horrible idea.
It's the Bodega Ghost. It's back
I
in the beautiful
know.
Garden of Eden. It's
Wait.
followed us.
So is it a drama?
My Lizzie McGuire hat. Yeah, of course it's a drama.
I know, but why would you want us to do that in drag then?
I just think it'd be kind of fun, a fun acting exercise.
we should.
But I would want to do it like as drag queens. So we'd be like in the dressing room or something. So
should
it'd be like getting
should we
into
take one of the
drag.
performances of Shablam Live and do a reading of Night Mother?
I mean, I'm down.
I would do it, except we already cast it.
Oh, right. Do you think they'd mind?
If we cut the cast?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Oh, if only there were a few more smaller roles in Night Mother.
Enough for like 6 people.
Well, we could do The Importance of Being Earnest with them.
We certainly
We
could.
have drag kings in our final 2 shows. Hey.
Shablammers, leave a comment down below if you would like to see a reading of The Importance of Being Earnest by Oscar Wilde, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Wow, I can't believe like this is very like art. My look today, it's very like Art Deco, Oscar Wilde. Like I
Yes.
belong like,
Noel Coward, we said.
and I'm like, what about me, Mr. Gatsby? You know what I mean? I'm kind of giving that.
Yeah, you're about to go on like a cross-country voyage on a train or something.
Well, you know why I'm wearing this?
Why?
It's because this is what I wore for Project Drag this week.
Oh, right. We're going to get into that. But not yet, not yet.
Okay.
And I'm giving, of course, Lizzie McGuire, Y2Gay.
We kind of had like a Freaky Friday moment
Yeah,
here.
we did.
And you're like dressing, we're like dressing, I'm dressing older than she is. She's dressing a little bit more younger than me.
Look at that. So because of our topic, I was feeling that time in my life.
I know, I feel like we both kind of embraced our topic in different ways.
Yes,
which we'll reveal later on.
Yes, we have to wait to the end. Shablammers, if you're here just for the topic, just skip ahead to the end.
Well, no! Wait, listen to the whole episode.
Of course.
There's so much good content that we talk about. Why would you encourage them to
yes.
skip to the end?
I don't know if people like see like the topic, because that's the first thing in our like little title. And then they watch it, but then we didn't ever get to the topic until the end, which is how
I
we
guess it's
planned
true.
it.
We are kind of leading on that the topic is a secret, but if you are a Shablammer, you can see the title of the topic in the title of the video.
Even if you're not yet a Shablammer, you'd be able to see the title if you can read.
Some Shablammers are not at like reading level yet.
That's true. They're baby Shablammers.
Yeah.
My nephew, I think, listens with my sister, aforementioned Jada. Hey, Jada.
Hey, Jada. But this goes back to kind of what we were talking about,
Yeah.
specifically in regards to the Shablam Casino. Shablammers, you can go back to season 1 and listen to our episode about gay casino.
Oh, yes.
But the whole premise of like, are children or not allowed or not? And it's kind of like, well, are they fierce?
Right.
I think that's the barometer.
Mm,
Are they giving cunt?
I think so.
Are they BC or NBC?
Well, that is always the question.
That was so theatrical of you.
Well, you know, we're getting into it.
To BC or not to BC? That is the motherfucking question.
Oh, wow. That's Shakespearean.
There's 8.
Hey, have you ever done a Shakespeare play?
Yeah, of course.
Which ones? Who were you?
I did. Is it The Tempest where Juno comes out at the end and does the wedding? I played Juno in a production of The Tempest.
I do not remember that part of The Tempest,
Am I
but it could
thinking
be.
the right? Am I thinking the right?
The
play?
Tempest is like they're like on an island. It's like at sea in the beginning.
Yes, Juno comes down and does like a wedding, and that's
Okay.
Anyway, so I played Juno in drag.
Oh, I want to do a Shakespeare role in drag. I want to be Lady M.
Oh, I would love
Oof.
to be Lady Macbeth.
Yeah. You know Mildew, the drag queen Mildew. Shout out Mildew.
Shout out to Mildew.
She has a Lady Macbeth number.
What do you even do for that though?
Well, you have to watch it. Check it out. Maybe it's on her social media. Maybe not. I don't know.
Well, I would love to be Lady Macbeth. No
Yeah,
shade.
yeah. I've done a few Shakespeare plays. I was in Romeo and Juliet twice.
Hmm.
Did some stage combat.
Oh, who were you?
The first time I was Peter, who was the nurse's servant.
Okay.
That was actually my first role in college.
Oh, gag it.
Hey. And then I played in New York. I played Tybalt.
Tybalt.
So I was like, I don't know. Would you consider him the villain?
Yeah, in a way, he's a villain. He dies
Oh,
though, and his death is avenged.
oh, that's true. And then I also was in The Winter's Tale, which is like a deep cut Shakespeare. Do you know that one?
Uh huh.
And
The Winter's Tale.
then I think that's it. Well, I did a version of A Midsummer Night's Dream set in Studio 54. That's
I
where
love Midsummer Night's Dream is so funny because
Yeah.
they be taking that play and putting it anywhere.
Anywhere, but that's where I learned to roller skate.
Oh,
Because I did that in grad school for 6 months. The Donkey Show. Directed by Tony Award winner Diane Paulus.
wow.
Yeah.
And wow.
Yes.
How was working with her? I feel like I'm interviewing you now.
Oh, well, it was great. She took over the grad school, the American Repertory Theater, which was the professional theater as part of my grad school. So she became the artistic director my first year there.
Uh-huh.
So her first show that she directed as artistic director of this theater was The Donkey Show, which was, like I said, a reimagining of A Midsummer Night's Dream set in Studio 54, but all disco music. The whole thing was like lip synced.
Oh.
So I played the puck character, Dr. Reelgood. Insert picture here. I was basically doing drag now that I think of it. But I do a reveal. I had these like huge disco tits, like this long pink wig. I drag makeup on, gold skates.
Oh,
and I was
my
on skates the entire
God.
show. I was running up and down steps, doing spins, like going through a drunk.
And this is
crowd.
when you were still straight?
Yes.
Oh my God. All of this when you were still straight. I was literally listening to you talk about all this and I was putting the math together and I was like,
Oh,
shut
my
up.
God.
You were literally doing drag.
Yes, I full on was. Wow.
Wow.
Yeah.
See, Shablammers, this is what doing the podcast is fun because sometimes we crack little Easter eggs about each other.
Hey.
You know
But
what
yeah,
I mean?
but Diane Paulus, she's a great director. She's a businesswoman down. Like, talk
Okay.
about a diva. She is a businesswoman down. She did do some not great things, like eventually shutter the grads program that was there, as well as fire the entire repertory company that had worked at the theater for
Yeah.
decades.
Yeah.
She kind of fired everyone and she wanted to do her own thing. I get it, but it's like that was one of the last remaining repertory companies in the country. Like those actors were on salary. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? They like did shows all year round at a professional equity theater, which it's kind of unheard of these days. And so that was a bummer, but she's very talented.
Oh, okay. So there's a little bit of like a villain origin story there.
A little
too.
bit, yeah.
Yeah.
It was very controversial.
Of course.
Yeah.
I remember.
Yeah, do you really?
We're kind of getting ahead of our topic.
I know, but that's an offshoot of what we're going to talk about.
Let's like focus back.
Okay, I'm sorry. We got off track by my Lizzie McGuire.
No.
outfit.
I love your Lizzie McGuire outfit, and I thought that was so interesting.
Yeah.
I also want to know though how your week was. What
Oh
you
my
did.
God, it was good. We haven't even said our names. We're just like off to the races.
I know. Off to the races here.
We didn't do a little shablam? Oh my
Oh
gosh,
God,
Shablammers!
whoa, we're going really off script today.
This is a very special episode.
I'm Lorelei,
And I'm Antibiotics. Hi.
it's pretty good. We're about 10 minutes into the
That's
episode.
okay. Y'all know what you're here for.
You know what you're here for. You're here to get down to the bottom of the culture, the
Yes,
lifestyle,
come
the meaning of
on.
life. We take a topic each week and we discuss it until we
Shablam.
shablam.
You know, we're two working drag queens in the city of Los Angeles pursuing our dreams and living our lives. We're doing it together and we want you here for the ride.
We're philosophers. We're journalists. We have a point of view.
We're going to get a Peabody Award at some point. Just wait.
The potential for a Peabody is here.
It is coming.
As soon as we, transvestigate something that's really going to get the audience like riled up.
Yes. We have a baby named Shablammy that's in a time capsule, and it'll be released in about 90 episodes. 80 or so.
I need to. I don't remember where I put the time capsule.
Uh-oh. Stay tuned. Well, you know they do get lost. I talked about that in our time
Oh
capsule
my God.
episode.
See, it's so simple.
You're
It's
just going to
so
be like the city of Corona. They lost 17 time capsules.
Go back and listen to our time capsule episode if you haven't already.
It was a good one. Once we get to 100 subscribers, we can put a link. But until then, we can't. So just go find it.
We're getting closer. We have over 50.
Hey, every week we get at least one or two in the right direction. Hey.
Yeah. So if you're listening and you're new here, thanks so much for listening. Leave a comment, like, subscribe.
Share with your friends.
Leave a rating. Leave a
Yes.
rating.
We have a 5-star rating on Apple Podcasts so far. So leave another one.
Don't tempt them.
Oh, yeah. Don't. Why? I want them to leave ratings.
No, but you're like, we have a 5-star rating. They're going to see that. And I know some Shablammers are already conspiring.
Uh-oh. Probably Peach Bliss. Did she hear the episode where you called out her entire sex life?
I think I did, actually. I texted her. Every time I talk about someone on the podcast, I text them and I say, we talked about you.
Even Berlin?
Who's that?
What was that?
Who's that?
But anyway, okay, so let's get back into our weeks.
Yeah.
My week was good. It was busy. How was your week? I feel like I've been talking a lot this episode.
My week was good. I didn't travel anywhere this last weekend.
Oh, that's right.
We're
We're here
in LA. And I was like taking the time to rehearse for my Project Drag number and just relax and chill. So yeah.
Did you do anything fun or just kind of
I was like, it's my only
rejuvenating?
weekend back in LA for a long time. So it was
Yeah.
very rest and rejuvenate, go to all the places, do all the things that I like to do.
Your
what?
number one favorite place.
What?
The happiest place on earth. Didn't you go to Disneyland?
I did go to Disneyland. But I went for a day with some friends.
Yeah, it's
a
fun.
little like mini vacation day.
Right.
You know, we live here in Los Angeles. We're a stone's throw away from the park. So I probably go like once a year.
Yeah.
Just for fun.
Yeah, why not?
I don't know. I grew up going to Disneyland. I think we talked about this before.
Yeah, we have.
Have we?
Uh-huh.
I grew up going to Disneyland. I lived in Orange County. So
Right.
it's just like a fun thing. I know my way around the park.
Yes,
and I
yes,
go
yes.
and I have fun in the morning. And then at a certain point in the afternoon, I just start drinking. And then it's
Oh.
just drinking and going on rides for the rest of the day. So
What does one drink at Disneyland?
they have like mixed cocktails.
Really?
Yeah.
Are they all like super sweet?
Yeah, they're pretty
Yeah.
sweet. They're like mixed drinks, but
I love a
I had
Dole Whip.
2 and I felt really good.
Oh, fun.
Yeah.
That's good.
And in a couple of restaurants, you can get like straight drinks too.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. Yes, it was We Hope Pride this weekend.
Oh yeah. Oh my God.
Yes.
Happy Pride.
Happy Pride, everyone. It's still Pride here in the beautiful Petty Cash Studios.
Mm-hmm.
So you didn't did you do any Pride festivities or you were like, I'm staying out of that?
Staying out of that.
It's hard when you're like, I had a couple gigs on Saturday that we can talk about, but if I'm not working, it's hard to go.
I would have made the plan to go if
I
it
feel
weren't
bad
my
saying that.
only weekend in LA.
Yeah,
for
I
the
get it.
foreseeable
And I
future.
love it too, but it's just like I live on the east side, so driving there, and if I like lived there and could walk, I would go like be there in a minute.
Mm-hmm.
But Meredith Marks was a DJ. I'm surprised you didn't get to see her.
I know. Well, that was one of the craziest parts of our annual West Hollywood like Pride Festival lineup was Meredith Marks coming and doing a DJ set.
I know.
But you know that she was just like pressing play and just like
Who
vibing
cares?
out. Who
That'd be
cares?
fun.
She's a queen.
Did you see any pictures or videos of her?
Yes.
Did she look good?
Yes, of course. She always looks good.
Did she have her Audrey bangs?
No, she had a little
Side swoop.
yeah, side swoop moment.
Okay.
Little middle part moment.
Oh, was her gay son there?
I don't know.
He probably came.
We probably came.
We hope Pride. She probably did it for him, don't you think?
You know, there was a couple of seasons of Salt Lake City where he like refused. He was kind of like you. He was like refused to acknowledge that he was gay.
Really?
Uh-huh.
See, that's who I want you to end up with, I think.
Brooks Marks.
Yeah, I could see it. I could see Meredith being your mother-in-law.
Oh, that would be kind. No shade.
Yeah.
I would. He's cute, but I don't know. We seem like different personalities.
I don't know. You have to meet in person and find out.
Uh-huh. Well,
Anyway, so I had 2 gigs. You went to Disney and then relaxed.
Mm-hmm.
I had a really fun Traitors gig. Remember? I think I talked about it last week. I was
Oh, yeah. So how was
preparing.
that? So who ended up finally being there?
Okay, so the people that were there from Traitors were Bob the Drag Queen,
Okay.
Parvati,
Okay.
Chriselle,
Oh, okay.
Bob the trainer from The Biggest Loser. I don't want to know. Harper? Bob Harper.
Okay. Oh.
The other Bob.
He's hot.
He is hot. Shorter than I thought.
No shade. Even better though.
Oh, yeah, I like it. You know I love a tiny king. And then someone who wasn't in the cast, but also was a gag for me. I didn't know she was going to be there. Anna Kendrick, y'all.
I got a ticket for the long way round.
Come on, cups.
2 cups of whiskey for the way.
They were all tipping down. Thank you, everyone, for being so generous. Leave a comment below, Anna Kendrick, if you're watching. I love you. Thanks for giving us money. Supporting local drag. But that was a fun show. Hershey was the host.
Oh, fun.
And Hershey did a Bob the Drag Queen number for Traitors. Oh, I got a robe, a Traitors robe. I got to keep it.
Oh my God.
And I ended up with 2. I don't know if I have someone's, but...
Wait, we need to wear them. Oh my God. New costume for Shablam just dropped. New costume for Shablam just fucking
But we would
dropped.
literally blend into this. It's like the same color as these.
I don't give a fuck. We can like mug down
Mm-hmm.
and like wear these like little trader hoods and,
Okay.
and bling out our hands.
Ooh, stay tuned, Shablammers.
So just
it's
like
coming.
mug hands and just serve that.
Well, we can Shablam Traitors now that I've finally watched it.
Yeah.
Oh, it was fun. I was bummed Dorinda wasn't there. I did a Dorinda mix.
Baby, Dorinda's not coming to your gig.
I
don't know
want
how many
Dorinda to
times
come
to
to
tell
my
you.
gig. She's liked my stories and posts when I post about her.
She lives in New York, my love.
I'm spreading the
She's
gospel
the lady of
Make It
Bluestone
Nice.
Manor. She's at Bluestone Manor.
I know. I had a little soundbite that said, "Everyone knows me as the lady of the manor, but I'm leaving here as queen of the castle." So classic Dorinda. But yeah, it was the longest number I've ever performed.
What is it?
7.5 minutes, y'all. I know, but there were so many people there. I've like never seen that many people there, and it was fun. So it was good. I didn't feel too long.
Yeah.
I got to like go and get my money.
Good
It was
for you.
fun. Yeah, they let us keep the robes. People from E! News were there.
Ooh.
It was a good time.
Yeah. I saw a
Yeah.
lot of press for it, actually.
Yeah, I was surprised. I didn't know it was going to be all that, but
Yeah.
it was fun.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Good. I'm glad.
Yeah. And then I
Give
did
it up for if you're a pill popper, make some noise.
Hey, let's hear you, pill poppers.
Our girl is
Don't know if I love
contributing.
that.
We've both contributed to like the TV entertainment industry in the sense that
Yes.
you've done this gig for the Traitors, and I did that gig for Bravo, where I was doing
Okay, for
Housewives.
Bravo.
Remember that brunch I was doing?
Oh yeah,
A long
that's
time
right.
ago.
Oh yeah. Who did you portray again in that? Which ones?
So like shout out to Tiffany Vogue.
Oh,
she
yes.
produced this brunch in contract with Bravo, like the
Yes.
network.
She also did the Broadway gig that I spoke of a lot. She produced that.
This was last year, summer of last year,
Yeah.
but it was like we were hired as drag queens to impersonate Bravo celebrities, namely housewives. It was a lot of people doing like a lot of housewives.
It was like a pop up. They like
yeah, it was like a
transformed the
pop up brunch.
space.
So like it was open more days, but every Saturday or something like that, we would have the opportunity to do this show,
Mhm, mhm.
and we were on a rotating cast and stuff. So I did a number as Lisa Rinna and Countess Luann de Lesseps.
Oh right.
Mhm.
And was that a mix or did you do one of her songs?
I did a mix
Okay, fun.
for both.
Okay, cool.
Countess is easy because she has a lot of songs.
She does, yeah.
That's like her own.
Yeah.
And then Lisa, I did some sound bites of her, and I did Von Dutch.
Oh, fun.
I did like a Charlie XCX like Lisa.
Oh,
Rinna.
yeah.
It was that was Brat Summer.
Right.
That year was Brat Summer.
And then we also did that Housewives Sarah Lazarus show at the Dynasty Typewriter.
Oh yeah, that's right.
With Monet Exchange.
Oh yeah,
That was fun.
See, this is what happens when you do drag in LA.
Hello.
You get close to networks.
Oh yes, Danny Francisi from Mean Girls was also in the cast that night. That was fun.
Now we're just
name dropping, but
dropping.
hey, we got you. It's fun. What else are we doing if we can't name
Annie
drop?
initiated it, y'all. So if you think it's
It's
tacky,
true.
it was coming from Annie.
But we did a whole fun Housewives mix. It was like that was a long mix too.
That was a long mix too. That was like an 8-minute mix of us doing different housewife scenes.
We need to do that again. I liked that mix now that I know it more. Anyway.
We're kind of giving Kim and Kyle Richards right here.
Oh, I can see that.
Yeah.
What else? Should we get into Project Drag of it all? What time is it?
Yeah. We can talk about Project Drag.
Okay, anything else about your week?
No, my week was pretty uneventful other than Project Drag.
And you're going to Austin.
Oh, I'm going to Austin this weekend to Shablammers, so I'll have another Texas update for y'all.
Ah, that's fun.
I'm excited.
I can't wait. I love Austin.
It'll be fun. I'm only getting one night there, one real
Oh,
night there.
really?
Because I'm flying in late on Friday. I have Saturday night, and then I'm leaving Sunday night. Yeah, so.
Oh gosh, I wish you could stay longer.
I know, me too. But I'll find another time to go.
Yeah,
to
yeah,
Austin.
yeah. Because you're not going to be, are you going to be there like during the day other than your brunch?
I'm going to be working during the day, but like I can go do whatever I want.
Because I would love for you to go to Barton Springs. It's so pretty.
Oh, I'm probably not going to be able to do that.
Okay. Well, if you're near Austin, check out Barton Springs.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that'll be fun. Okay. So what else?
What else?
I don't know. I had a bingo gig at Alamo Draft House.
And then right after that, you came to Project Drag.
And then right after that, I came to Project Drag. Yes.
And you were there.
I was there for the whole show. It was fun. It was, should we get into it?
Yeah, of course.
This Broadway week, Shablammers.
Broadway.
Ooh.
And that's why I said that I look like this. I look like I'm about to give, do you hear that playing? Yes, to hear that playing. Do you know who's playing? No, who is that? Why, it's Gabriel playing Gabriel.
I thought you were doing Music Man.
Blow,
I was like, that is not
Gabriel.
Music Man. Anything goes. It is very Hope Harcourt.
Yeah.
In college, I played Lord Evelyn Oakley, who is like Hope's British
British
boyfriend.
Lover. Yeah, you would have done a good job.
And
with
I
that.
got nominated for. Did you have? No, we probably didn't. I don't know if this is. I think it's a national thing. The ACTF, American College Theater Festival.
Oh.
It's like a national awards thing. So like
I
they would go to your school and like judge the shows. And
oh wow! No, I've never seen
really.
That. No, yeah, we didn't do that. I had that for high school, but not for college.
Oh, interesting. 2 people per show, depending on like how big the cast was, would get nominated to represent the school for at this festival.
Okay.
So for that role, I got nominated.
Oh my god! Congratulations,
Thanks. Girl. Anyway, yes, but you're very anything goes in this.
Very.
But that's not what you performed.
No, I performed Show Off from the Drowsy Chaperone.
I was
that
Janet.
Show. Janet Vandergraft.
Made famous by Sutton Foster, who did plays at the same community theater I did in Michigan.
Gag that.
Yes. But and her brother, Hunter. But before I got there, they're older than me. So I never got to meet her yet.
I was up there lip syncing to Sutton Foster.
Yeah, she has an amazing voice.
Yeah. I was getting my just pretending that it was coming from me. No shame.
I love that show. I saw it on Broadway.
Drowsy Chaperone?
Yeah, with the original cast.
There you go. See?
Beth Level.
Real Broadway people know.
Yeah, Beth Level.
Real Broadway people know Drowsy Chaperone. And if you don't know Drowsy Chaperone, y'all should check it out. It's a little more conceptual. It's more funny. You know what I mean? So it's old school.
It's a contemporary musical, but it's set in like this time period.
Yes.
Like, what is that, 20s or 30s?
I think so.
But it's like there's this like nerdy guy who's like finds an old record of this like Broadway show that no one's ever heard of.
Mm-hmm.
And all the characters in that show are like kind of kooky and wacky.
Mm-hmm.
And your character is like this. Is she like a stage star?
She's like a big like stage star who is like leaving. She's supposed to marry this really rich really rich guy.
Yeah.
And so in order to marry him, she has to like leave her life on the stage. And so she does this kind of like swan song number about how she doesn't want to show off anymore. Like she doesn't want to show off her skill set anymore.
Right.
And the whole joke of the number is her showing off. So it's
doing
her, like, doing every single trick that you can possibly do. Yeah. And I did that. No shame.
You did. It was really great. Not only that, you like wrote your own like interludes.
Yes. Yeah. I wrote a little sketch for the beginning and the middle. Like,
you had a cast of 5. Like, give them shout outs to who was in your cast.
Yeah. Shout out to my backup dancers.
And actors. You gave some of them lines.
Yes.
Bitch.
Icon Lewis, who's a drag queen in LA. Amara Del Sheik, who's a drag queen in LA. Mary Kate Lohan, who's a drag queen in LA.
Yes.
Sam, who's an amazing dancer and drag artist here in LA.
Yes.
And my roommate and best friend Jack,
Ooh.
who
he's an amazing dancer too.
Yeah, he's an amazing dancer, and he's been like my rock through this whole freaking thing.
Yeah.
Besides you, of course.
Well, of course. And the Shablammers, of course.
And the Shablammers, of course.
Yeah, Jack has been in many of your, like, probably
every
more
single
than half.
Yeah, if I've had a backup dancer, Jack has been one of the backup dancers.
I love that.
So, Shablammers, leave a comment down below if you think I won, I was in the bottom, or if I was safe.
Right, we'll leave some time.
Hear
that typing.
Oh,
Shablammers, they guessed wrong.
Oh,
I'm sorry, Shablammers. You should have guessed safe.
Oh,
yikes. Well, maybe next time.
Yeah. Maybe.
Well, what do you want to say about it? You were literally, because it was the top 7, so you were the only one that was safe. Not only were you safe, they made a point to call you out in front of everyone and say, Lorelei, please step to the front. Or no, they said, if I call your name, please step to the front. Lorelei.
I step forward.
No, Tony doesn't say anyone else's name. You are safe. Leave the stage.
I was all... It was literally like Jan losing the Rusical face. I literally was like I watched back the video of my reaction. I was pissed.
Yeah.
You can see it on my face. I was literally like, I just like dropped my expression. I could not believe it. I was devastated on this one, y'all, because I am a Broadway girl.
You are. And it was a really good number.
And it was a really good number. And I brought in a lot of production. And God bless April Showers. She gave me my critique. And she was like, yeah, like, it was really good. Like, I loved everything on stage. Your lifts look super clean. In the original number, there are more reveals, though. That literally, next week, I'm just going to kill myself on stage. Am I allowed to say that on the show? This is a safe space for the Shablammers. But I shouldn't be joking about that. But it was so devastating to hear that. And I was like, damn, a bitch can't bring out a million reveals and just have them be like, good job, bitch. Like, it had to be like, there was actually supposed to be more.
April, I love you, and I don't know if that note came from her specifically or like the judges as a whole, but that note is bullshit. Come on.
Give me a break,
You didn't have as many reveals as the original Broadway cast. That wasn't the challenge. Like, no one in the audience would have known that. Like, no one studies the Tony Awards performance.
If April hears this, I love her, and she's been a really great judge, and she's kind of like the Paula.
She's very
of the
sweet.
Panel. Like, she's very sweet. She's very like kind with her delivery of everything. And she was very kind to me, but that specific note actually sent me through the roof. I was like, maybe I like short circuiting.
Well, because that's also the only like negative thing she said. So it makes it seem that that's why you didn't place in the top or were just safe just because of that, which is like ridiculous.
I have good word from authority that I was technically top 2.
Oh,
I have word from good authority that I was technically top 2.
Do you have that in writing? I believe you because I know where the source is. It was a verbal agreement.
It was a verbal agreement.
Okay, we'll see if we can get that person on record. That's how I'm going to get my Peabody.
We will come back to this at the reunion.
Yes, we will.
At the reunion.
Yes, we will.
But
But anyway, so according to the stage, you were safe. And there were top 3 and then a bottom 3. And I would say that would be the last time you could be safe, but they didn't eliminate anyone. So there's a chance you could be safe again.
Yeah.
We'll get to that.
I don't really know.
What do you want to say about it?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I've been having like a lot of like mixed emotions about it. I mean, I'm grateful to be a part of the competition, and I'm going to do whatever I can to secure that win at the end. No shade.
Of course.
So I'm not giving up.
No.
I was really, really disappointed that like I felt like this was one of my best numbers in the competition so far, and it didn't really get any accolade. I feel like I didn't get. It would have been, even if I didn't win, it would have been nice for them to be like, "You were in the top. Great job. It was a great number."
Yeah. And also, and I'm not just saying this because we're friends, and I feel like I've been pretty honest with my opinion throughout the competition. The two of the 3 people that were in the top, your number was better than.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So that's what it also makes it more upsetting.
Yeah.
It wasn't just that you were like, didn't get any accolades, but they didn't even like, give you your flowers.
They didn't really give me my flowers at all. I've had a very like unique position with the judges, I feel like, where they feel I've been safe a lot, and then there was instances of me being safe and I'm still getting like critique when I'm like off stage and stuff. I feel like I just want to impress the judges.
Right.
And I worked really hard this last week to impress them.
Yeah.
And it was frustrating not getting that win. I'm still going to try. I have one more challenge before the finale.
Mm-hmm.
And y'all already know I'm going to be in this motherfucking finale. Like, we don't even have to play. Like,
come on now.
Never been in the bottom.
Yeah.
You know? So I know I'm doing a good job.
Right.
And I think it's just a matter of like a night to night basis. There's a confluence of like my look, my performance, my mix, and then those same things of all the other contestants.
Exactly. And how the judges are feeling, if there's a guest judge, what they think. It's so much is out of your control. You can just do your best and hope for the best. You're doing that. So
next week is a design challenge.
Ooh.
We were all given the same dress.
Okay.
And we have to like make a new garment out of it.
That'll be interesting.
I was talking to Tony, the producer, today because I had to let him know that the fabric that he bought does not take bleach.
Oh,
so we're all stuck with black dresses unless we paint it.
Oh.
But then again, it's like, it'll literally be like paint on top of black fabric.
Right.
So I was like, because he got a polyester dress.
Uh-huh. Black, though?
Yes.
Oh.
Like little black dress vibe.
Oh, okay.
But I was like busting his balls today, and I was like, so you really had to pick a polyester dress that like doesn't take any bleach. Like now we're gonna have a show full of everybody in like black dresses.
Yeah. Well, can you like bling it out? You can like
you can do whatever you want to it. Yeah, you can add on top of it or do whatever.
Well, that'll be fun. And then there are no parameters based on what number you perform. It's just you have to use the look you create.
Yeah.
Okay. That's fun. All right. So it'll be like also see how people like perform when they get to choose.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, that's fun. I like that.
It's been a lot of it's been themes like every single week. So now we're right before the finale. We're back to just like do whatever you want kind of vibe.
Yeah.
So
that was the week that I got eliminated. So
really?
Yeah. With my
I thought your week was reveals.
No, that was the design challenge. Is what I got eliminated.
So your design challenge.
Yes, I had a wardrobe malfunction. Even though I got a standing ovation at the end of my number, let it be known. I did get eliminated that week.
Damn, well, I'm not going to get eliminated. No shame.
No, there are people that'll get eliminated before you. But we did ours later in the competition, I think. There were only like...
You only had a top 4.
I guess 5 people, 6 people. Yeah, we only had a top 4.
We're going from 7 now to 5, and then there's going to be a top 5. And like we all have to do something for the finale. So
yeah, we'll see. I'm not worried about you. You'll be there.
No, I'll be there for sure.
Okay, well, that's cool. Do you want to talk about any of the other numbers, or are you just over it?
I'm pretty over it, I'll be honest. So y'all can go watch other people's numbers. Shout out to... Nope, I don't even want to give her a shout out. I'm good.
They went in on Devos, y'all. Devos did Alphaba from Wicked, obviously. And there was I just have to mention it because I've never seen anything like this in a drag show. They did like video footage of Devos skydiving in Alphaba drag in the middle of the number, which I was like,
here.
Huh?
We could put a clip of it here.
Look at that.
That's crazy.
Yeah, they did not live for the number, even with that. So sorry, Devos. Devos was in the bottom, along with SB, who did something from Waitress. That song that I was talking about, Ayana, She Used to Be Mine, which I love that song. But they said, what they say to her, like she wasn't opening her mouth enough or something.
Yeah,
they were like you were emoting with your body, but not your face and mouth, or something like that.
Yeah.
And then Devos, they just hated everything about it.
The poor girl.
Callista was like, if you would have just done that number as is, you would have won. But because you did all of this extra bullshit, basically, she said, I don't even remember what she said.
Oh my God.
But they went in.
She went
in on Devos. And I was
when the mic gets handed to Callista, that it's like you don't want to be in her fire.
But then Tony took the mic and was like, also, wait, Devos, come back. And then Tony took the mic and was like, I have more to say to you. Been giving you notes and you're not taking them. So take the notes and you won't be in the bottom. And then I feel like Callista took it back and said some more shit. And then they
went back and forth. They're like...
Yeah.
They like ping-ponging Devos back and forth a little bit.
But then they had to lip sync to Lizzo's Naked, which is again the song.
These lip sync songs,
y'all. I was like, okay, what? And then no one got eliminated. So I'm like, Jesus Christ. So there still will be a top 7 next week.
For what? I don't know. But
yeah. That's Project Drag. That's a drag competition for you.
That's a drag competition in Los Angeles for you.
Yes,
no shade.
Yes. All right.
I'm glad to be a part of it. I'm still having a good time.
It's fun. But
I still have a chance of winning. No shade.
Of course.
What if next week I really gag them and I win the challenge?
I hope you do. It would be about time. But that's the other thing I was going to say. Last thing. You have the same track record as Callista, who won my season. So I think don't get too down on yourself.
I'm going to try not to. I just got to really turn it out for the finale, right?
And there is video footage, speaking of like your Jan face when you were marked safe. There's... It's so funny. This is shady. We might have to cut this. But there's video footage of when I won the Ariana night.
Oh, you told me about this?
And her face just like...
Sours.
Yes. So funny. It's on YouTube. Go find it if you want, Shablammers. But anyway, all right. So stay tuned for more. There are 2 weeks left.
I know, only 2.
Getting to the end.
Which means by the end of June, we'll also be wrapping up season 2.
Oh, yes,
of
it's coming to a
Shablam.
close.
We'll be back. We'll have a season 3.
Yes.
It'll be a
season
new
3.
format.
New format, maybe a new space. We might have to say goodbye to the Garden of Eden.
We've been having many adventures in the Garden of Eden.
Yes, but Scuzzy can't get a hold of us in here. I don't know if it's like
we lost
the
service.
forestry
Yeah,
or
we lose service in here.
So I need to find a new room with Scuzzy. Access to Scuzzy. Well, beyond that. But anyway, yes, Shablammers, new exciting things happening for season 3.
But the adventures don't stop.
No, we're going to keep on giving you the hits, as we always do.
And today is no different.
Oh, yes.
Today, the topic we are shablamming is
BFA Programs. Oh.
BFA Programs. We have experience in that mainly in musical theater.
Well,
acting, theater.
I know, but BFA Programs encompass quite a many thing.
Well, let's define this straight out the gate.
Now,
BFA versus BA.
Okay, we're going to do this because I have a confession to make, Shablammers. I don't have a BFA.
I don't have a BFA either.
We both have BAs. If you were a Shablammers in season 1, you know that.
UCLA, go Bruins.
Oakland University, Golden Grizzlies, hey.
No shade. But
yeah, I have a BA in theater performance / acting.
And I have a BA in theater. That's what the degree says. But my emphasis was in acting and directing.
Okay.
Yeah. I took a whole sequence of directing courses, and that's why I'm so smart.
Oh. That makes sense. Well, actually, I was bummed at the time that I didn't get a BFA. My school didn't offer one. Now they do. But now looking back, I'm glad I got a BA instead. And tell the people what the difference is. And
I applied for BFAs and BAs going to college because I was doing theater programs. And the general vibe of it is basically when you get a degree, a BA, 50% of your coursework is within the realm of whatever you're studying. And then another 50% of it is GEDs or other classes that you have to take, which is pretty standard of any general bachelor's degree. You know what I mean?
Right.
The difference with a BFA is that 50% quotient probably goes up to 80% and maybe 80-90%, and only 20 to 10% of your classes are outside of the focus of what you're there to study. So it's really about course load ultimately. But BFAs also have more of a practical vibe of a conservatory where you're there, you're in a program that's tailoring you to be in a specific way and stuff.
A professional in that field.
Yeah, and it's very closely monitored and stuff like that. And BAs in general, it's a lot more broad-banded. You're learning about the craft. They're still training you and stuff, but I found, and I feel like it's true in general, that BFAs really, there's tighter programs and they hone in more specifically on individuals.
They're more focused. Usually they're smaller programs. They're harder to get into, I would say.
Yeah.
Because they're more for, everyone wants to go there because it's for people who want to move to New York or want to move to LA or become professionals.
These are programs where it's we only have 12 spots.
Right.
Or we only have 24 spots. And they have a gender balance that they need to get where they get 12 girls and 12 boys. And
we're talking specifically mostly about theater schools because that's what our background is, but you can get a BFA in ceramics, pottery. They probably don't do gender
probably not
ratios, I would think.
Probably not.
Hopefully no one really,
but just like Shablam, we have the girls and we have the boys.
Ah!
So, no shade. But yeah, so that's basically the difference between a BA and a BFA. Do you have any information?
Basically, if you're an actor, for example, 80% of your classes in a BFA program would be acting, movement, voice. The other 20% would be math, English, history.
Mm-hmm.
And if it's a BA program, it's reversed a little bit.
It's 50-50.
It's 2/3 is what I read.
Yeah. I went to
So-
UCLA. I took some crazy GEDs.
Yeah, we had to take so many things. We had to take language courses, history courses,
Yes.
of the world, writing courses, English courses, which I'm glad because I feel all of those things make you a better artist.
I agree.
So I'm glad in hindsight that I had a BA.
I also think it's a BFA is very concentrated and it's a very rigorous training program. And I feel with a BA, you can get a little bit more of that university experience where you're not so tethered to the building or the faculty or like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Or the course work.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a little bit more to like, there's a little bit more room to explore yourself and stuff. But
Yeah.
let's talk about this. Like at the time, like there were probably like the top 10 like BFA programs for theater. And you went to an MFA for theater.
Yeah. So I have an MFA, which is a Master of Fine Arts in Acting. So that's like the conservatory program. I didn't do any math, science. That was all acting, all voice, all movement, doing like classes for 10 hours a day, rehearsing in the middle, doing a show at night, do it all like 6 days a week.
Oh my God.
Yeah. It was intense. I lived in Moscow for like, because they had an affiliation with the Moscow Art Theater School.
Skolkaliet Skolkazim.
Hello, good memory.
Thank you.
Wow, that's impressive. Shablammers, that means how many summers, how many winters, but loosely translated is long time no see. Skolkaliet Skolkazim. It's the only Russian I remember from my time there.
No shade.
But yeah, so that's a very intense program.
Mm.
But their top 10, you were saying something about the top 10?
Yeah. The
What
top
about
10 BFA programs.
Yeah. Do you know what they are?
Do you?
Because there are 315 accredited BFA programs in the United States right now.
Wow, that's
315. A lot of people want to be artists or are artists.
Wait,
They wanna go to
art
school.
programs or musical theater?
Just BFA programs.
Oh,
so that
wow.
encompasses probably like
A lot of
graphic
different-
design, ceramics.
So what are the top
interior
programs?
design.
Do we know?
I
I remember what the top programs were when I was applying to
yes.
college.
Well, I have the top musical theater programs, the top 10, and then I have the top 10 drama school and arts colleges.
Okay.
So just tell me what you want to know.
Well, let me guess. Let
Okay.
me try to figure out like 1 through 10.
Oh my
Okay.
God. Of musical theater programs
Yes.
we're talking? Okay.
Yes. Okay. Is Carnegie Mellon on there?
That is number 1.
Okay. Cool. Let's start with Carnegie Mellon.
Okay.
I'm gonna guess programs that are on there and don't tell me where they are on the list. Okay.
Oh, oops. Okay.
That's okay. But we'll start with Carnegie Mellon being at number
Okay.
1. Which, by the way, is that propaganda, Shablammers?
Why?
The Carnegie Mellon to Broadway pipeline. Is that propaganda? Because they have like ads at the Tony Awards. I'm like, do you buy this industry out? Or are you just, or is the industry so tight? Like, which
They
way
come
is
from-
it?
Oh, the chicken or the egg.
No shade.
Hmm.
In high school, I went to a Carnegie Mellon pre-college program where I actually met Miscellaneous.
No way.
Yes, we did a high school summer theater program together at Carnegie Mellon.
I think you told me that before. That's so funny.
Yeah. She's a drag
Miscellaneous-
queen in LA.
Yeah.
And I wanted to go there so bad.
Really? Where is that in Pittsburgh? Where's
Yeah,
that?
I was in
Okay.
Pittsburgh. I remember I wanted to go there so bad.
Yeah.
And they were like the type of program where it was like, we only accept like 8 people. And it's like
Wow.
4 boys and 4 girls.
So you wanted to go to musical theater school?
Well, okay. So when I was growing up, I did musical theater. I wanted to do musical theater. And then I actually went to this summer program and I started taking directing courses. And I was like,
Okay.
this huge light bulb went off in my head. And I was like, this is so much more interesting to me. Like there was something like so much more interesting about like digging into the text and like making those artistic choices. I think I love being an actor, but you know me, like I love like being like the big picture person and like I like having my hands in like every little bit. And I think that's also why like I like drag. It's because it's like I get to be the makeup artist and the hairstylist and the lighting designer and the writer and the performer. But like with directing, I found I could learn so much more about the craft of the stage beyond just like, okay, what's my motivation here? And what's this? Sometimes being an actor can be very technical, and there is a technical approach to directing as well, but I felt a lot more like liberated in like my creative vision through the lens of a director than I did as an actor, I feel like.
Well, you also have more control, much more control as a director than an actor.
Yeah, but that was never really my thing. I think what I really like, and also what I like about drag is like I like collaborating with people, and I like going to the lighting designer and like connecting with the costume designer and like looping those people in together, and I like making that like symphony that I see when I go on stage, and I like am like really grateful for that like theater training now, because when I go and see a performance, I'm so attuned to a million things going on at the same time. Like I notice light cues, I notice sound cues, I notice actors, I notice set pieces, like I notice everything moving together. And that to me is the magic of theater. Like that's what's so impressive. Totally. Is like everything coming together for like one time within like 2 hours or however long like the thing is. But sorry, like that was such a nerdy little rant about like theater. But
it's true. I love to collaborate too, obviously, but that's one thing I miss in drag because, like you were saying, drag is so kind of like one woman show, one person show. That's why I like working with you so much, is because like I miss collaboration. I like doing theater. That's like where my background is. I like a big group coming together to like make some amazing thing.
So when I started applying for colleges, I was applying for directing programs.
Oh,
And I was
interesting.
like,
Okay.
I was hacking my way into like the BFA directing program at Carnegie Mellon. Not to much avail, but basically what happened was is I went to this this is such a crazy, I'm so glad we're talking about this. I went to this like talk back with the head of the directing program at Carnegie Mellon.
Okay.
And I asked a lot of questions and I was getting as many answers as I could. And what I was able to discern is that they only take 4 people. And
this is the directing?
The directing
Okay.
program only takes 4
Wow.
people. And they like each class to have like emphases. So by the end of the program, they like to have one person who specializes in realism, one person who specializes in musicals, one person who specializes in like experimental work, and then one person who specializes in Shakespeare, like classic text.
That's cool.
So I was like, what can I do here? And so what did I do? Like a fucking psycho. I made a portfolio where I demonstrated my capacity to direct a like Shakespeare production, a musical production, like an experimental show, and like a realist play. And I like had like drawings and pictures. And then like, I remember I had no directing experience other than this class that I took at Carnegie Mellon. So I was like, I have to get some sort of like portfolio together. So I directed a bunch of scenes my senior year and with my friends, and I made them like go into this black box and like we like rogue style like put on a performance in this like black box at like my high school.
Oh my God.
And it was just a series of scenes and my friends were like helping me out, but I took pictures, I took videos, and I got like this whole portfolio together. And so I went and I applied to all these different directing programs, but Carnegie Mellon, I remember I like made my portfolio specifically with them in mind. Do you know what I mean? And it helped me out at like a lot of other schools. I applied for 15 programs and I got into 8 of them, and I was waitlisted at like 2 or 3, and I was waitlisted at Carnegie Mellon, bitch.
Oh my God.
And I was priority waitlisted
for the directing.
Yes, which meant that even if one person said no,
next.
I was gonna get it.
Oh God, well, it wasn't meant to be. But
and I literally, I like was like, yes, like I want this more than anything.
Yeah.
And I started financing like my 4 years at Carnegie Mellon, and I realized it was gonna be so expensive.
Yeah.
And hindsight's 2020. Like they always say this when you apply to programs, it's like you always end up where you're meant to be. And I think that's very true. Like I was meant to be at UCLA. Like it was never like a thing like that. But I remember I remember I would email them routinely after I got my decision with new updates and information about myself, like updating my resume so that they like wouldn't forget me. Like I wanted to go. I was so desperate to go there.
Yeah.
And then I ended up going to UCLA, which they only accepted 6 people into their directing track.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. So
yeah, I wouldn't think there's a lot of directing programs in undergrad. I feel like that's more of a graduate.
Yeah, that is. Yeah, it is a little bit more rare, but you can find them.
That's cool.
NYU has one.
I wanted to go to NYU so bad. Speaking of expenses, I couldn't even afford like the application fee. I was like, I can't even get to the audition. It was like in Detroit. I was like, I wanted to go to NYU so bad.
Yeah.
It's like at that time it was like $40,000 a year. I don't even know what it is now.
Well, so is NYU on this top 10
Yes,
list? Okay,
yes.
so Carnegie's on there. And Carnegie's number 1. Don't tell me where NYU is.
Okay, we're talking musical theater programs.
Is
Top
Michigan
10.
on there?
Yes.
Okay.
And fun fact about University of Michigan, that was when I was in school, that was like the top. That and CCM, which is Cincinnati Conservatory of Music.
Yeah.
Those were like the top 2 schools in the country. And Megan, shout out Megan.
Hey, Megan.
The woman I lived with for 4 years and was in a relationship with,
yes,
National Tour of Cats, went to U of M in their musical theater program. So
okay,
she was like
really good.
Yeah, amazing. Maybe I'll put a video of the YouTube that she's in.
I had some friends that went to U of M for musical theater, and that program is very... They will literally book Broadway shows like right after graduation.
Literally.
But that's what I'm saying. I'm like, there is a pipeline here. There is a pipeline here.
And even before that, we're talking pipeline. The head, at least when Megan was at U of M, the head of the musical theater program at University of Michigan was also the head or like a teacher at Interlochen, which is some famous like arts camp. It's like the top one in the country. So those people would just go right from Interlochen if they were good. She went to school there, like
oh my God,
full time. Meatball did too, I think. Went to school at Interlochen. It's like, I'm so jealous. It's like, I wanted to go there being a kid from Michigan.
Yes.
It's expensive though. And my parents were like, hell no, you can't go there. But all my friends would go every summer.
Oh,
they'd be like, I want to go to theater camp. But anyway, so yeah, she went to Interlochen and University of Michigan.
Yeah.
But people would go right to Broadway.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Okay, so Carnegie, NYU, Michigan is on there.
Yes.
Is CCM on there?
It's not. And I was like, does that program still exist? Or did it just get knocked down? I would be surprised.
That was major when I was young. Okay, is Elon University up there?
No.
Oh, interesting. I'm trying to list schools that like were really popular BFA programs when I was growing up. I can't believe Pace isn't on there. That one was like one where a lot of kids wanted to go.
Really, Pace?
Pace University. Is UC Irvine on there?
No California schools.
No California schools? Oh my god.
Not for musical theater.
Is Texas Christian University on there? TCU?
No.
What? What about
Christians don't do musical theater.
TCU used to be like a really great like musical theater program.
Alex says these are great guesses. Thanks, Alex. Alex is going to be at Shablam Live.
Wait, so list me some of these schools. Then.
Okay, I'm going to just read them off.
Or can you give me a hint?
Well, one has a famous drama school attached to it.
Yale?
On the East Coast, yeah.
Wait, but that's not undergrad.
This says best musical theater programs in USA. Yale is listed.
Okay.
This is from the internet, y'all, so maybe it's talk to Google. And then Northwestern.
Oh, Northwestern. Yeah, that was a really top one.
Syracuse, which is in New York. That's a good one. Emerson, which is in Boston.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Boston University. Also,
Boston University.
Boston Conservatory was a big one.
Boston Conservatory was. There's a lot of Boston.
Yeah. Juilliard, obviously.
Okay.
And then Ithaca.
Ithaca's up there.
Yeah, that's number 10.
Wow. Good for Ithaca. I remember Ithaca was like, I applied to Ithaca when I did schools.
Yeah.
Good for them.
Yes.
Wow. Okay. So times have changed.
Yes.
Okay. So then what was the other list?
The other list was the top drama schools and arts colleges in the US. And these I think are grad schools but CalArts is on there.
Okay.
Carnegie Mellon, NYU Tisch, Juilliard is number 1. North Carolina School for the Arts.
Oh, UNCSA. I applied there too.
One of my grad school professors works there now.
I applied to their BFA program. I remember in the interview, they were like, so what do you want to do as a director? And I was like, oh, I would really love to do musicals. And they literally looked at me in the interview and they were like, well, we don't do musicals.
Wow.
And I was like, well, you do Shakespeare, right? And they were like, yeah, we do a lot of classic texts. And I was like, well, that's okay. It's like learning the foundations. Like how you have to like learn ballet to be good at every other type of dance.
You're not going.
They were like, bitch, you're not coming here. No. They were like, and I left the interview and I was like, thank you for the interview. Yeah. Like I know I'm not getting this, but thanks for the time. Yeah, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh well. And then Boston Conservatory is on this one, SUNY Purchase, and then University of Michigan.
SUNY Purchase.
Yes.
That's a good one.
Yes. A Bachelor of Fine Arts program can cost anywhere from $11,000 to $43,000 per year, depending.
More than $43,000.
Well, it depends where you live and what else you're paying for.
For Carnegie Mellon, I was probably going to be about like $90,000 a year.
Well, that's probably with like housing and everything, right?
Yeah.
But I guess you have to include all that. Damn, that's expensive. Well, that's also out of state. That's why it was expensive for you.
Oh, it's a private university.
Oh, that too. Yeah. Oh, who needs money?
Do we have tips for any people who might be applying to some BFA programs?
Oh, tips and tricks. Well, I would say get help. Like, if you can find like a coach, even if it's online, someone to like work on your monologues or your scenes. I don't even know what people have to do these days I would assume they have to do monologues or scenes or something.
I have tips for people doing auditions in general.
Yourself?
For BFA.
Go for it.
For your minute-long monologue, you want to make sure that it is not any longer than a minute. If they give you more time, that's great. Make sure you have more monologues with you. Yes. And you want to show as much range of emotion in the monologue as possible. So try your best to like divide the monologue into beats and give the monologue different emotions, different tones throughout the piece.
Know who you're talking to, like what you want from that person. If you're in a monologue, you could be talking to any number of people, the whole audience, yourself, a specific person.
Make sure you're doing material that is age appropriate. If you were a teenager and you're applying into a BFA program, you should be doing material of a teenager.
Yeah,
You should
don't be
not
doing Mama Rose.
Do not be doing Mama Rose. Do not be doing Grisabella from Cats.
No.
It doesn't matter how well you think you do it or how old you think you look next to everyone else your age. You need to be doing material for how old you are. And that goes for anyone auditioning.
Well, actually, I have a question about that because normally I would agree, like auditioning in a professional setting, like if you're 20, do not sing like Rose's Turn.
Mm.
But for a grad school program, they're going to be playing those like adult roles. So if you
but by the time you're applying to grad school, it's like you're a little bit older.
No, I'm saying for undergrad programs, if they do Gypsy, I like 22-year-old. I played the baker in Into the Woods when I was 20.
I know, but at that point, they're not trying to see if you're going to fit into their season. They're trying to see how marketable you are. And they're trying to see like if they're trying to see if you know yourself well enough to come into the school and do well.
Yeah, makes sense.
That's what they want to see. This is what they want to see. So those are some tips, some helpful tips and tricks for those of you who may be applying to BFA programs.
Yeah. Do you know what the first BFA program was? Where? I can tell you if you don't want to guess. Do you want to guess? Guess what state? What do you think? What state do you think had the first BFA program in the country?
Massachusetts?
No.
New York?
No.
Pennsylvania?
Yes.
Carnegie Mellon?
No, it was the Pennsylvania Academy of Fine Arts, established in 1805. It's considered the first art museum and school in the U.S., and it was likely the first institution to offer a BFA program. There you go, Shablammers, a little history.
And they just started it just because?
Yeah.
I mean, was there any legal avenue that they had to go to? Or could they just be like, yeah, you're getting a BFA now?
I think it was just the first time like a degree was offered in like a fine art.
Well, because we can give degrees on like being BC.
Of course.
BBC.
Hello.
Bachelor in being cunt.
Oh, yes. Of course. We need that. What would it would be a BFA BC?
Bachelor of Fine Arts Born Cunt? No, it would be Bachelor of Born Cunt. It would be BBC.
Okay, fine. BBC, there we go.
I know that's an acronym for something else, Shablammers, but we're going to reclaim this. We're going to reclaim this, BBC energy.
Do you know what the #1 art school in the U.S. is currently? Guess what state it's in?
Wait, say it again?
The #1 art school in the U.S., like on rankings. According to several sources, no.
Juilliard.
No.
I don't know.
The Rhode Island School of Design. So they don't have actors there.
See? Okay.
But there are other things, Shablammers.
That's why they're starting the Real Housewives of Rhode Island. No shame.
Oh, maybe they go to RISD, as the kids say.
Yeah, maybe.
Oh.
All right. Well, is there anything else you want to say before we sign off this week's episode?
I think we Shablammed it. Leave a comment below if you have a BFA.
Yeah, if you have a BFA, tell us from where.
Yeah,
and
what your
let's make some
was.
fucking noise. Let's make some fucking noise for those BFAs.
Yes, and if you just have a BA like us, you're great too. Make some noise.
Yeah, and if you didn't want me to weaponize the BFA, then you should have never started the battle, bitch.
Ooh, and if you think you have a degree in being a BBC, leave a comment below.
A degree? Yeah, if you have a BBC, leave a comment below. All right, y'all. Love you. Like I said, Shablam is a podcast about getting down to the bottom of the culture, getting to the bottom of life, the meaning of it. We're two drag queens here in Los Angeles. We're trying to pursue our dreams the best we can, and we want you along for the ride.
Yes, come join us. We're talking everything from BFA programs to poppers to the Appalachian Forest, Shablammers.
Make sure that you check out tickets for our live shows this June.
Opening tomorrow night.
And
By next week, we'll have an update. Yes.
And in the meantime, stay gorgeous.
We'll see you next week, Shablammers. Insert theme song here.